I told you that one of the most valuable sports franchises on earth, a club worth billions, watched by hundreds of millions, with a name recognized on every continent, almost died twice before it ever won a single trophy, that its first jersey wasn't red, that its founders weren't footballers, businessmen, or visionaries. They were railway workers, tired men, covered in coal dust, who just wanted a reason to stay together after their shift ended. This is the story of how Manchester United was born, not in glory, but in a railway yard, out of desperation, friendship, and one brewer's gamble. The year is 1878. Manchester is a city built on iron and steam, the beating industrial heart of the British Empire. At the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Depot in Newton Heath, hundreds of men spend their days loading freight, repairing engines, and breathing in coal smoke until their lungs ache. There's no weekend culture yet, no leisure industry. Life is work, sleep, and church, that's it. But a few of these workers, carriage cleaners, mostly, want something else, something for themselves. So they do something simple, something that, in hindsight, changes history. For the next 2 decades, Newton Heath exists in the shadows of Manchester football. They're not bad, they're competitive, even promoted into the Football League by the 1890s. But they're poor, painfully poor. Players are paid in pennies, if at all. The club survives match to match, season to season, always one bad year away from extinction. By 1902, the bad year arrives. Newton Heath is 2,670 pounds in debt, an enormous sum for a working-class football club. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the cost of an entire row of terraced houses. The bailiffs are circling. The bank is done extending credit. Players haven't been paid. The club captain, Harry Stafford, is doing everything he can, even reportedly using his own pet dog to raise funds at a charity bazaar, hoping someone wealthy might take pity on the club. It almost sounds like a joke, but for the players, men with families, men who've given years of unpaid devotion to this club, it was the difference between survival and oblivion. And then, somehow it works. A local brewery owner named John Henry Davies, a man with money, ambition, and an eye for opportunity, steps forward. He's not a football romantic. He's a businessman. He sees a club with a loyal fan base, a place in the Football League, and untapped potential sitting in the middle of a booming industrial city. He clears the debts. He invests in the squad. And he sets one condition. The story goes that several names were floated in the boardroom that day. Manchester Celtic, Manchester Central, but one name stuck. With the new name came a new look. Out went the green and gold of the railway company. In came red and white, the colors that would become one of the most recognizable in world sport. It wasn't a marketing decision born from research or branding consultants. It was simply a clean break, a visual statement that this was no longer a railway workers' side playing for fun on a Saturday afternoon. This was something new, something ambitious. Today, Manchester United is a global institution. Old Trafford holds over 74,000 fans. The club has won league titles, European Cups, and produced some of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. But strip away the trophies, the sponsorships, the billion-dollar valuation, and at the very core, there's still a thread connecting back to 1878. A group of tired railway workers who didn't have grand visions of empire. They just wanted a ball, a patch of grass, and each other's company after a long shift. Every club has an origin story, but few are as humble, or as human, as this one. Manchester United wasn't built in a boardroom. It was built by men who just didn't want the day to end when the whistle blew at the railway yard.